Hey everyone, welcome to English Pod, where we make learning English fun with friends. In this series, I'll break down keywords, slang, idioms, and cultural references from each episode to help you improve your English naturally. Watch before or after the episode to boost your understanding. Subscribe and turn on the notifications. Let's dive in.
So let's start with some of the language examples. Oh, this first one is great.
Okay, let's hear it.
Loosely translated.
Ooh, that's a good one. You know, Monica uses it in that hilarious line. Loosely translated, "We should do this again" means "you will never see me naked."
Oh my gosh, yes. So funny.
Then what's interesting here isn't just the joke, but like what it tells us about how people actually talk. Sometimes what we say is totally different from what we really mean.
Yeah, like we're all speaking in code.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And for someone learning English, understanding that kind of indirectness
Mm-hmm.
can be so important, for navigating social situations and not getting things totally wrong.
For sure. It can save you a lot of awkwardness.
Definitely.
Okay, so then we have cushion the blow.
Oh.
Joy uses this one when he's talking about those classic breakup lines like, "It's not you, it's me."
Ah, yes.
A classic.
It's so common, right? That need to soften bad news, make it easier to hear.
Absolutely. It really reflects that cultural thing we have about being polite. Trying not to make people feel too uncomfortable.
Even if we're breaking up with them.
Even then.
And the phrase itself, "cushion the blow," is so vivid,
Yeah,
right?
you can picture it.
Yeah, like literally softening the impact of something. Which makes me wonder, are there similar phrases in other languages, like those go-to ways of saying something difficult without being too harsh?
I'm sure there are. I'd love to know, actually.
All right, so the next one is "put to sleep."
Okay.
And the notes say it's a euphemism. Remember when Chandler mentions parents telling kids that their dog went off to live on a farm?
Oh, yeah. The classic.
It's such a common way to deal with tough topics, especially with kids, right? Using gentler language to kind of protect them. Yeah. I mean, what's so interesting is how widely understood this phrase is. It's almost like a universal way to talk about something really sensitive without being too direct.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why that particular phrase stuck. Like, why a farm?
That's a good question. It probably has to do with, farms being seen as this peaceful, happy place, maybe.
Yeah, and maybe like a place where animals are free to roam around and, not be confined to a house or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so now let's switch gears a bit. We've got fumble,
Fumble, all right?
which basically means to handle something clumsily.
Hmm?
Like the stage directions mention Joey fumbling and dropping the lighter.
Oh, yeah. Small detail, but it really creates a picture in your mind.
Yeah, you can totally see it happening.
And for something like television, those little actions are so important for telling the story.
Oh, yeah, they add so much to the humor, too.
For sure. Like, it's not just the words, it's how the characters are moving and what they're doing that makes it funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which brings us to visibly wince.
Visibly wince. Okay.
It's another stage direction this time, describing Joey's reaction to the cigarette.
Oh, right. So again, it's all about that nonverbal communication.
Mm-hmm. You can show pain or discomfort just with your face.
We don't even need words.
Exactly. So anyone learning English should pay attention to those little facial cues.
Definitely. They can tell you so much.
Okay, getting a little more conceptual now with karmic debt.
Ooh, karmic debt.
Phoebe is the one who talks about this in her own, Phoebe way.
Yeah, very Phoebe.
She mentions the giant karmic debt of keeping the money.
Right. And it's helpful to understand that karma basically means like a spiritual consequence for your actions.
Yeah, so if you do something good, you get good karma. Oh. If you do something bad, you get bad karma.
Right. It's kind of like a cosmic cause and effect thing.
Exactly. And while Phoebe's take is, very funny, it does reflect how a lot of people think,
Like, even if they don't fully believe in karma, they might use the word in a more casual way.
Yeah, like, oh, I have bad karma today.
Right, exactly.
It's become a common way to talk about how our actions have consequences, even if it's just in a joking way.
For sure.
Okay, so next up we have nonchalantly.
Nonchalantly, all right.
And the example here is Chandler trying to shrug nonchalantly about smoking.
Try and play it cool.
Totally. But the stage directions tell a different story.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's trying to act like it's no big deal, but you can tell he's not totally convinced.
Exactly. It's like his body language is betraying his true feelings.
And that's what makes it so funny, right? That gap between what he's saying and how he's acting.
Yeah, it's a subtle way to show his inner conflict without him actually having to say, hey, I'm kind of freaking out about this.
Very effective.
Okay, so then we have be all over someone.
Be all over someone. Okay.
Yeah.
Like what Monica says about her friends when they meet a guy she's dating.
Yes. It's like they instantly become super interested, you know?
Like maybe a little too interested.
Yeah, which is such a relatable thing, right?
Wow.
That feeling of your friends being a little too much with someone you're dating.
Oh, for sure. It's like that awkward intensity.
And then Monica keeps going with the animal comparisons.
Yeah.
This time's pick off the week.
Oh, yeah. The coyote analogy.
She's comparing her friends to coyotes, targeting the most vulnerable members of her herd when it comes to her boyfriends.
Ouch. A
Yeah.
little harsh, but also very funny.
Yeah. And maybe a little true, too.
Right. It's an exaggeration, but it does make a point about how friends can sometimes be judgmental of our romantic choices.
For sure. Okay, so the odds are slim.
Or pretty straightforward one, right?
Yeah, basically meaning a low chance of something happening.
Well, like Paula says about Monica's friends liking a guy they haven't even met.
Right. It's a very common way to express skepticism or doubt without being too direct.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it's impossible, but...
Exactly. It leaves a little wiggle room.
Okay. And then we get a very clear image with dripping wet.
Describing Chandler coming in from the rain.
Totally. Like you can just picture him soaked.
And probably really annoyed.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so Alan bashing.
Alan bashing. Now that one seems pretty specific to the show, right?
Yeah, it means criticizing or making fun of Alan. Monica's the one who uses it.
Right. And it's interesting how a group of friends can just invent a word or phrase for something that happens a lot.
Yeah, it's like their own little inside joke.
Or a shorthand for a situation.
Yeah, exactly. And it shows how close they are, you know?
They have their own language almost.
I mean, then we have the yardstick, which is related in a way,
Oh, how so?
because it's about how Alan becomes like this standard of comparison for Monica's future boyfriends.
Oh, right. Ross says Alan will be the yardstick against which all future boyfriends will be measured.
Exactly. So he's become the benchmark, the standard.
Which is such a human thing, right? We're always comparing new experiences to past ones.
Absolutely. We need some kind of reference point.
And the word yardstick is so perfect for that.
Yeah, like a literal measuring tool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the last one in this vocabulary section is dejectedly.
Dejectedly. Okay.
It describes the group coming in wearing their softball gear and looking sad. But then it turns out they actually won the game.
Oh, yeah. Total fake out.
It's so funny because it plays on our assumptions, right? We see them looking down and we immediately think they lost.
Yeah, we jump to conclusions.
And then, bam, they're actually happy.
It's a good reminder not to judge things by appearances.
Oh, and almost forgot. Persecute, from the extra scene where Joey and Ross are teasing Chandler about smoking.
Oh, right. Yeah. It shows another side to their friendship dynamic.
It's like playful teasing, but also kind of relentless.
Yeah, they're definitely on his case about it.
Okay, so we've covered some great vocabulary. Now let's move on to the cultural references. These are so important for understanding the show, and even American culture in general.
Definitely. They ground the humor in a specific time and place.
So first up, David Hasselhoff.
Oh, man, what a legend.
Right. Chandler does this hilarious impression of him doing a PSA for the Humane Society, all while he's secretly smoking.
It's so perfect.
And for anyone who doesn't know, David Hasselhoff was like a huge TV star back then, like Knight Rider and Baywatch.
He was a total icon.
And he had this heroic image.
Oh, yeah, like larger than life.
So the humor comes from that contrast.
Yeah.
This heroic figure doing something as ordinary and kind of bad for you as smoking.
And especially for the Humane Society, it's like this weird juxtaposition of animal welfare and a bad habit.
Exactly. Okay, so next we have Phoebe's little grammar joke about vowels.
Yes, the classic sometimes why.
She says, A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y. I left in the Y's. So sometimes Y. So classic Phoebe.
Very meta. It's like she's making fun of grammar rules.
Yeah. It's this self-aware humor about something that's supposed to be very basic.
But even basic things can be funny.
Totally. Okay, so G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah.
It's not actually mentioned by name, but the notes say it's relevant to Phoebe's analogy about a kid getting a toy and their older sibling breaking it.
Right. Because G.I. Joe was such a huge thing for kids back then.
A classic American toy.
So everyone would have understood that reference.
And it taps into that universal experience of sibling rivalry,
Oh, yeah. The older sibling always ruining things.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
even though G.I. Joe isn't mentioned explicitly, it's like this unspoken cultural reference that adds another layer of meaning.
It brings back all those childhood memories.
Okay, so next up, Chandler's reaction to finding a thumb in his soda.
Oh, my gosh. That scene is so gross, but so funny.
He gets $7,000 for it, and then he jokes about it being like a promotional campaign. He just collect all 5.
Like it's a prize.
It's such a funny commentary on consumerism,
Yeah.
Like how companies try to get us to buy more stuff
Sure.
by offering these ridiculous prizes.
Yeah, and the fact that the prize here is a human thumb is just so over the top.
It's so absurd.
Yeah.
And that's makes it so funny.
Okay, and then we have the Humane Society reference again.
This time in Chandler's fake David Hasselhoff PSA.
Oh, right. It's like he's trying to make smoking seem important,
Or like he's doing it for a good cause.
which is so ridiculous.
The humor comes from that total mismatch. Smoking versus animal welfare. It
Yeah.
doesn't get much more mismatched than that.
So there you have it. From this One Friends episode, we've learned about English, vocabulary, conversational phrases, and even some key cultural references.
It really shows how much you can learn from pop culture.
Totally. So, okay, let's jump right in. Let's start with something kind of fascinating, the subjunctive mood. Have you ever heard of this?
Oh, yeah. It's, it can be tricky.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, but it's so powerful. So I'm thinking about, in this episode, Phoebe has this line, I'm paraphrasing a bit here, but she's like, if I got $1 every time someone gave me one, I'd be rich.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny.
That-
But what's really interesting about this is how she uses that if I had.
Right.
That construction, that's the past subjunctive.
Right. It's how we talk about things that aren't really true or just hypothetical.
Mm.
It's like setting up a little what-if world.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the second part, the I'd be part,
Yeah.
that shows what would happen if that what-if world was real, you know?
It's like this whole world of possibilities that opens up, you can express these nuanced wishes, these possibilities in English that you wouldn't be able to just by stating, like, the facts.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You can explore all these different scenarios and outcomes.
Yeah.
Like, if I were you, or if she had studied harder, she would have aced the test. You're not saying it did happen, but you're exploring what could have happened.
Right, exactly. It's so cool how English has that flexibility. Okay, let's switch gears a bit.
Okay.
Let's look at reported speech. This one's it's a simpler concept, but it's so crucial. And we see it all the time in Friends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
So Monica says, he told me he was an actor.
Okay.
Now, what's interesting here is that original statement. Someone originally said, I am an actor.
Right. Present tense.
Present tense.
Yeah.
But when Monica reports it, it shifts. It becomes, he was an actor.
Exactly. There's a shift in tense from the present to the past.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking about something that was said in the past.
Right.
We also have those reporting verbs.
Yeah.
He said, she told me, they mentioned like that.
Exactly. Told or said. It's all about accurately conveying what someone else said.
Exactly. And it's something we do all the time in everyday conversation, like, hey, what did they say about the party? And then you have to shift all those tenses.
Right. It's like time traveling with verbs. Okay, so let's move on to something a little more assertive.
Okay, I like this.
So Chandler, who's dealing with a smoking relapse,
Yeah.
he says, the pressure made me do it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That word made, I feel like it's doing some heavy lifting there.
It really is. It's a causative verb. It's showing that the pressure directly caused him to do something, in this case, smoke.
Right, that the pressure was so strong
Like that.
that he didn't have any choice but to.
Like he was forced to. The structure is always something like this. Something made someone do something else.
Right.
It's a powerful way to emphasize that there was an external force that led to a particular action.
Yeah, it really highlights that external force. And we do this with other verbs too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like let, as in let me help you,
Yeah.
or you can use have or get when you want someone else to do something. Like I had the mechanic fix my car, or
Yeah.
I got my friend to help me move. And again, it's about showing who or what is in control, who has the agency to make things happen.
Yeah. It's interesting how language can really show that power dynamic.
Totally.
Okay, moving right along. I'm thinking about this scene, and Monica asks Alan, you liked them, didn't you?
That
Little tag at the end, didn't
Oh.
you? It's like there's something specific going on there. It's not just a question.
Yeah, you're right. That's a tag question. It's like a little question we add on to the end of a statement
Right.
to seek confirmation,
Yeah,
We want to make sure we're on the same page.
right.
So we have a positive statement, you like them, and then a negative tag, didn't you? It's almost like we're nudging the other person to agree with us.
Right. And we do it in so many subtle ways.
Yeah, totally. Like, it's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Exactly.
We had a great time, didn't we?
It's like that verbal nod, hoping for agreement.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's talk about Joey for a second.
Good. I love Joey.
He has this very specific way of talking, right?
For sure, yeah.
And he does this thing. He asks, So, we okay.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of saying, so are we okay,
Right.
he drops a word there.
He does. That's called ellipsis. It's when we leave out words that are easily understood from the context, and it happens all the time in casual speech. It makes things flow more naturally.
Right.
We do it all the time without even thinking about it.
Right.
But yeah, it's important to remember that in formal writing, we need to be more explicit and use those missing words.
Got it. It's like a shortcut.
Exactly, a shortcut for everyday talk.
Okay, so last one. Phoebe remarks, I don't like the idea of being paid to be good.
Okay.
Now that word being, it looks like a verb,
Right.
but it's not quite acting like a verb, is it?
You're right, it's not. That's a gerund. It's a verb form ending in ing,
Yeah.
but it acts like a noun in the sentence.
Right, okay.
In this case, it's the object of the preposition of. So it's
Yeah.
not describing an action. It's actually the thing that she doesn't like the idea of.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and this is just a tiny taste of how verbs can take on different roles in a sentence. Some verbs, they like to be followed by these ing forms, these gerunds, while others prefer the to form of the verb.
Right.
It's all about getting specific and precise with how we express our preferences and actions.
It's so cool, right? We're talking about Friends, this show that's just so lighthearted and fun, and yet underneath all of that humor,
Yeah,
there are these intricate grammar rules at play.
absolutely.
Here's a synopsis of Friends Season 1, Episode 3, The One with the Thumb. In this episode, several humorous and heartfelt storylines unfold among the group of friends. Phoebe is shocked when she receives an unexpected $500 in her bank account. Always striving to do the right thing, she tries to return it, but the bank rewards her honesty with even more money and a football phone. Things take a turn when she finds a thumb in a soda can, leading to a $7,000 compensation. She ends up giving the money to Chandler as a bribe to get him to quit smoking. Chandler struggles with quitting cigarettes after taking it up again due to stress. The group tries different ways to convince him to stop, including guilt, peer pressure, and even financial incentives. Monica introduces her new boyfriend, Alan, to the group. To her surprise, everyone absolutely loves him, even more than she does. When Monica decides to break up with him, the friends are deeply disappointed, though Alan himself confesses he never really liked them in the first place.
Thanks for watching. I hope this lesson helped you learn something new and made your friends' experience even more fun. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your fellow English learners. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new episode breakdown. See you in the next one.